and we're about to go what's up with Facebook. This is a special stream. I'm Yogi Chris from Ninth Limb Yoga and IMC headquarters here, captain of IMC Nation, streaming to you about the upcoming gatherings in Las Vegas. So stay tuned. Skip ahead while I get all the tech set up. If you're catching this recording, of course, that's who I'm talking to about that. As soon as you go live, nobody's like on it right when you go live. You know what I mean? Like, it takes time for them to join. Dang, this looks good. I shouldn't be streaming on Stoic Temple though. Okay, good. Good. Okay, and on Facebook, you maybe heard the intro. I'm Yogi Chris, captain of IMC Nation, streaming to you now about the gatherings that are coming up. So I'll give it a second so that people join, they don't miss the message. All right. Might even click record on the Zoom itself. Let's see. All right, what's up, TikTokers? You're on. Okay, so we're good to go. Let's get started. So I'm Yogi Chris. I live with this guy, AZD. AZD is the real deal. We hear it all the time. We're out with them. If you guys are on TikTok, you're probably seeing some of the streams that we do at night. That's incredible. What a blessing and what an offering to be able to give that. On YouTube, too. The stream last night had 550 views. That's pretty good for a YouTube channel that just has like 900 followers. And when we're out with this guy, man, I mean, it starts with you watch the stuff and you're like, oh, this is real. It speaks to me. I like his confidence. His tonality is so entertaining. The things he talks about, so fascinating, especially if he starts going on men and women, or sometimes if he goes on like alchemy or, mental principles, vibration, things like that. Like, that's fascinating too. And as you listen more and more, it doesn't stop making sense. It actually keeps making more and more sense. Like, he lectures a lot. So at least once, usually twice a day, every day, for years and years. That's thousands of lectures. It's off the cuff. It's just off of inspiration. It's not like a syllabus or like notes that he's reading off of. He's not repeating a previous lecture. Every now and then he may do a similar event, like, let's say, a hypnotherapy event where he's teaching language patterns or whatever. He's done that before years ago. He'll do it again. Like, so it kind of circles back around, but there's a lot of growth that happened since the 2 years ago when he taught it last. So it's the same kind of topic, but it's not the same event. He's not going off of notes. It's what's top of mind now. What have I discovered? Because he's teaching discoveries. That's what's so powerful about the relationship stuff. What's up, speculators? Speculators on, he knows that, because it's not, when you read stuff out of a book, it's stagnant. It's finite. That's what the information is. The book doesn't change and rearrange its words and evolve. The guy would have to write another book. And that's the difference. I mean, book learning is nice. The words, reading it, it's nice versus a lecture format or a podcast or whatever. And AZD is cutting edge with his relationships. That's just the thing you'll notice. So you start watching the lectures. You're like, oh, this is powerful if you're drawn to it. Then you keep listening and you're like, you'll pick up some pieces of information because the entertainment value of it keeps you listening. So because it's entertaining and you keep listening, and then there's actual legit teachings. There's legit philosophy embedded in it. It's not just being extravagant or entertaining or flamboyant. And it's not just that he's a tattooed motherfucker and you're like, man, that's pretty interesting to watch a guy that's like fully tatted talk. I mean, he's got like his eyelids tatted. You know what I mean? Like, that's entertaining just to watch a fully tatted person talk because they're like a art piece. You know what I mean? But you're only going to listen for so long. And just compare AZD with any other tatted motherfuckers out there. They're all face tatted and neck tatted and all tatted, and they're boring. Every now and then you'll meet a guy that's like, one example might be like Wes Watson. He's not face tatted, but obviously, and AZD has a lot of respect for that guy also. But it's different. He's not good with women like this. That's the thing you'll have to notice as you keep watching. If you keep watching. If you watch some of the longer form content, any of the Zoom meetings or YouTube videos or whatever, you'll pick up enough information that you're like, I think this guy is really good with women. Because he'll be giving analogies and metaphors and stories and reading texts. And you're just like, at first it's kind of a shock, or that might be too strong of a word. It's just kind of surprising. You don't hear guys talk about this stuff. Guys aren't talking about relationships. You know what I mean? And if they are, it's really defeated and they sound like their moms because they're just repeating what mom said, basically. So if you listen enough, you get familiar enough with it and you start picking up details that you're missing in the beginning, because in the beginning, it's like a surprise hearing about it. And as you pick up the details, as you listen more, you'll start to piece it together that I think this guy really is good with women. Like, he's above what I am with women. There's kinds of women I want to get. Not that you want to have a relationship or marriage or kids or whatever, but you want to fuck them. Let's just get real with it. I'm probably going to get censored for saying that. But it's the truth. And on your journey of getting better with women, some of those women you thought you wanted, you really don't want. Like, it was an illusion. And some of them you do. And new women come into focus. You develop as a person. But that's a motivation and inspiration for the guys. And they're drawn to it. They're not usually drawn to AZD if they just want pickup in women. Because there are other cheeseball coaches. I could name a dozen of them at least. They're cheesy. That a lot of them have very successful social media followings. Over 100,000. Some of them over 1 million if you add them all up. And they're feeding you an easily digestible bite. They're giving you a piece of candy. And you think it's more nourishing. Versus here's some vegetables, here's some raw milk or raw eggs or something. You're like, that's disgusting. Man, your body needs it. You can keep avoiding it because you're a slave to your taste buds. And that's what guys out there are. They're looking for like dating advice or whatever. They're a slave to their senses. That's why they're looking for dating. Why was I unique? I don't know. My education, my experience. I mean, I was a high-level athlete, turned a high-level drug addict, turned a high-level academic. So I was a PhD recovering acid head ex-Division I athlete for 4 years. But raised in a military family. So something about me, I didn't want to, and I'd also been sold on many gimmicks in my life, not dating related. Actually, I was never sold on a dating gimmick. I only went with the best, and then I found a better one, and then I found AZD, and that was the best of the best of the best. You know what I mean? But I don't regret the first people I bought with. They got me to a level to receive AZD's level of information. I was a hard case, But I was sold on other gimmicks in life that I paid thousands of dollars for shit that, man, does this work for people? I don't know. So, is it just me, or you just teach it like trash, or what is it? Like stock investing and insurance and social media network marketing or whatever, social media marketing. Sure, it worked for somebody, but I wasn't that kind of personality. I was sold on the dream, but I wasn't qualified to do that. And they didn't qualify me. They just sold me. So anyway, fast forward and move forward to this. Guy gets entertained by the voice and the delivery, and you start listening longer and you get the information. And you get the information, you're like, holy fuck, this information's way better than what I'm working with. I couldn't explain my philosophy with women in more than half a paragraph. Like, when you first come to this, you're like, what's your philosophy of women? You're like, philosophy of women. But AZD lectures hours on it. Hours and hours and hours and hours and hours. And you're like, that's too much. Well, that's why you don't get the women like he gets. And that's what I had to face. Like, I'm not getting the women. I have all these opinions, but I'm not getting that's why I titled this, on some of the streams, I titled this Evidence. Evidence of good relationships, of successful relationships, of alpha relationships. This old man is harassing me in the back of Walmart. He is inside of me. Well, if you comment ridiculous like that again, I'm going to block you. Like, I hate blocking this information from people, and I am just a messenger of the information. You may get something from my talk. You should. I'm well studied. I'm practiced. I'm senior in this, unless you're older than me. Then I'm still senior in this art than you. But I'm a messenger of IMC Nation and AZD. That's why I grow these accounts, and it's mostly filled with AZD content, with the exception of my personal Facebook right now that maybe my girl is watching. And so, fuck it. Like, I got to do what I got to do. That's the only place you can watch me stream. Okay, I want to tell you, for drug addiction, believe me, help a lot of people. Well, I'm not addicted to drugs anymore, bro. That was 10, 12 years ago. I was so lonely and desperate and such terrible social skills that I couldn't remedy myself. I had an empty heart and a lot of bad habits, a lot of toxic habits, just growing up, man. It was parents from a different era, this and that. Everybody's got that story, you know what I mean? So you take your evolution by the reins. That's what you got to do. You got to take it by the steering wheel. And if you're not taking your evolution by the steering wheel, then, man, evolution is just driving you. You're on autopilot. And the culture will just continue to brainwash you and use you and abuse you before you even know. That's what society, that's what Hollywood, that's what they do. I have so much raw bacon in my underwear right now. Man, how does this attract weirdos like that? Maybe the hashtags or something? I don't get it. If there's any normal people on the YouTube stream, comment something normal so I know there's a normal people. None of you watching right now. It's like we're 0 for 2 right now on just like weirdo crazies. Sheesh. If you same to you, Landon. If you comment weird again, I'll have to block you. I hate blocking this information for people because I have honestly seen, although it's a minority, I've seen weirdos that are just far gone change. They swerve. They do. But it's not by force of their will. I think it's through really good lecture communication that they realize something. But I don't know if that's you. And I don't need it to be you. So don't comment weird like that, man. That's just freaking weird. It's disrespectful. You can be weird on your own channel. Go make a video and comment all the weird stuff you want about it. But you're on someone else's channel. This is like my business. You know what I mean? It's just like going into someone's business and yelling out something weird like, dude, it's disrespectful. Like, that's why you would be suffering in life. It's that behavior indicates that. So you should see that. Or don't, and go live your life. Okay, so hello from Syria. What's up, Tarwat? So I'm talking about the evolutionary. You watch the AZD clips and stuff. And so one of the things that I've been doing is streaming when we go out. And that's what I was talking about. What a blessing, dude. What a blessing that I got a YouTube channel and a TikTok, and those are the ones that are successful at it. And I'll stream when we're out. I'm looking for my blue pen. Here's my blue pen. I just had it here. Here's this pen. Where's my blue pen? Sheesh. Sheesh. Oh, I was sitting on it right here. Okay. So that I get to stream to these accounts and people are joining. You ever been in a penitentiary? You look like you hold men's pockets. I don't know what hold men's pockets means, if that's a gay thing or if that's like a money thing. But no, I haven't been in the penitentiary. Although I could have been with some of the dumb stuff I did in my life. But luckily, God was looking out. I was a drug addict for 6 years and believe I found the plan. Right on. For me, it was yoga and philosophy. And the love of myself. That I love my parents and I love myself, and I just didn't want to keep doing that. You know what I mean? But I had to find a remedy. I couldn't just stop. I needed something that would replace the habits, and that's what I used yoga for. And then got into philosophy and pickup. I'm sure I was addicted to like getting girls, and then it's just I found my character in that, and so I'm evolving on a different level of just a different dimension of character now. Dude, I just want to help out, and you good person. I don't have to tell you that. Listen, you remember. Yeah, man. Appreciate you, bro. Share this. If you want to help out, share this. Share this on your story. Share this wherever. Bring people to IMC, because that's what this is. I'm a messenger for AZD, Arash Pardi Bazaar, the founder of hashtag IMC Nation, streaming to you here from IMC headquarters. We have 6 bases in Las Vegas now. We just moved here 2 months ago. Brought 26 guys now, live in Las Vegas in 6 bases. And I'm at base 1, which is headquarters, where I live with AZD. I live with the founder. And I've been living with him for about 4 years. So the streaming, what a blessing that I can stream these roundtable talks at night. So on TikTok, you don't get to see the recording, although thousands of you watch. By the end of the stream, it's 3,000 upwards, 20 new followers every stream. On YouTube, it's less. But on YouTube, I get to post it. So you can go to the channel and see the live streams and watch these roundtable talks. This is not just one man, not just 2 men, but a round table of men. Yes, there's different levels. Some are newer, some are up there in rank, like myself, and then some is AZD. One is AZD. Sometimes you'll see a waitress come in and out, and you'll see some interaction like that. So if you're looking for infield, pickup, player stuff, we don't do that like that. We sell it. We have parties with models, and we sell the interactions with them. And so you'll see what real game looks like. And you'll be like, well, those are models. You're paying them. Bro, you try to talk to them this way. Go ahead. Pay a model what we pay them for the party. Get them to show up. Get them dressed the way they're dressing. Get them behind the camera. Talk to them this way. And then talk to them before and after like this way. Yeah. Okay, it's so easy. So easy. Let's see. TikTokers, comment over there. Don't just be watching. Lots of likes, though. So, so these live it's great because you see a community, a tribe, a small tribe, a pack. The tribe is big, but it's only like 10 to 15 guys out at night around this round table, what we call it. Holding court is the terminology from the game, to be able to keep the attention of a group of people in a social venue, which means there's usually music playing, there's lots of distractions. Usually there's going to be mixed, which means there's men and women. So what are you talking about that keeps the women's attention and the men's attention? And then there's levels to this because, you know, if you're around Dana White and Eminem and Donald Trump, that's going to take a different level of conversation to hold court than it is, you know, fucking some bum and some hobo and some hillbilly. Like, that's just different. And then it is contextual. It's different in, you know, the American South to hold court than it would be in New York City, than it would be in San Francisco, than it would be in Las Vegas. Like, the geographical, but then that's how we adapt our communication. It would be different if you're interacting with gangs versus you're interacting with academics. But there is such a thing as a high-level gang member, and there is such a thing as a high-level person that's an academic. Can you hold the attention of high-level people? That's what it takes to get high-level women. There are levels of women, they make money. Maybe they're like, I think of that Candace Owens, like she's a high-level woman. I don't know how she's doing in a relationship, but that's a high-level woman. But when I say high-level in quotes, I mean beautiful. Beautiful, desired, which means they don't conduct themselves like trash. Intelligent, which means they have a sense of humor. I need an intelligent woman. That's beautiful, that conducts herself elegantly. I don't need, but that's my standards. That's my qualifications. You know what I mean? If a woman interrupts while holding court, do you talk over her? It's always contextual. It's not a flat rule. You'd have to see it. Sometimes you talk over her. Sometimes you stop for her. Sometimes you address her and tell her to wait her turn or whatever. It depends. The way that we do it, we either have the woman with us, like she's our guest, our personal guest, and then I haven't seen it yet where a guy has brought a girl and she's out of control. So he controls her. And if he doesn't control her, then the group will control her. And you just have to see that ethics play out, how that's ethics in a group environment. That's why we don't get trashed and drunk. It's not our game. Okay. Or she's from the outside, in which case either the guy that opened her, go handle her, or she's intruding, and then we have seen that, and then she has to be handled, either by the nearest man or by somebody who's going to, because of the integrity of the group. Or it's the waitress, basically. And if it's the waitress, then occasionally you got to handle her because she's rude. Usually you just kind of stop and let her do her business so that she can move on. And in the process, then you may interact with her to game her. But that's about the extent of it. And, okay. So, what a blessing. I get to stream these to the YouTube, TikTok. You could DM me if you want to come to the YouTube. Hold on. What is this? There we go. There we go. Let's see if there's any comments over here. Okay, checking for comments. Okay. All right, everybody. So, the round table is one of the most powerful exercises I have ever witnessed as a man. And that means across all spectrum of exercises, physical exercises, personal development exercises, spiritual exercises, you know, memory exercises, speaking exercises, singing exercises, any exercise. As a human being, your power is your ability to communicate. It might be your weakness, but it's your power. That's how you can get 2, 3, 10, 20, 100 guys to help you take over the jungle, is communication. That's how you get a woman, through communication. That's how you repel a woman. That's how you repel men who are aligned with you. That's the testimony, that's the testament to IMC Nation. It's not just one guy. Look at the round table. Look at the live streams, the round table of 15 guys. Dude, we look sharp. We look clean. We speak well. You might tease 1 or 2 guys because he's high pitch or he doesn't sound that strong. Well, he's getting better. He's still better than you. Let's put you in the round table. We're not going to tease you or taunt you. Let's just put you in the circle of guys. Now speak. Speak up, dude. I can't hear you over here. You got to keep everyone's attention. Okay, now, am I going to have to fake interest? Am I going to be really interested in what you're saying? Or am I just going to have to be polite so that you don't feel too bad about it? Am I going to have to nod along so you know I'm keeping track? Or are you engaging? We'll see. Maybe a very few minority can do it, but most men will fail. Just face in the dirt, fail. They'll get better if we're coaching you. I wasn't especially good. I was better than most because of all the lecturing. And I had taught a lot of public classes, wrestling and yoga, and I had more experience than a lot of guys who hadn't been teachers. Different guys have different life stories. There are very few, like 2 or 3 guys in IMC Nation have a story similar to mine, like the Wolf, who went to Harvard and has 2 law degrees. What do you recommend on the mind and negative self-talk? I absolutely recommend The Chosen Part 2 this weekend. That's what I recommend. AZD is going to cover all of that tech in a way that you get it. And that's including book references, the video references, and the mentality of how to approach self-talk. He's definitely going to, I know, that's actually one, I don't normally know what he's going to teach. I absolutely know that that's what he'll be teaching this weekend for the gathering. And that's partly why I'm doing the stream for everybody, is the weekend gatherings. I've made a schedule so that people can travel better, easier, make their plans, or just schedule their budget, their money, because it's $700, $697 to come in person. But in person comes with, whatever the details, I'll tell you in a second. But I've released a calendar, a schedule for the next 3 months. It's every 2 weeks, essentially, 2 or 3 weeks. For the next 3 months, it's on imcbase1.com. That's 3 days with AZD and the tribe. And with AZD means 6 or 7 hours of lecture with AZD. Never said before, never to be repeated again. It's just how it is. I've been to probably about 80 to 90 camps with AZD. He doesn't repeat it. Even if he says the same piece of information in a similar way or tells the same Zen story, it's never the same delivery. Okay? I'm about to have to go to answer all these messages that are coming in. So if you guys got any final questions, make sure you type it out. And one last time, again, I'm Yogi Chris, founder of Ninth Limb Yoga, captain of IMC Nation, here from IMC headquarters where I live with AZD, talking to you about the IMC Bootcamps. 3-day events, 6 or 7 hours of lecture, and mostly Friday, Saturday with AZD before we go out. Some dialogue with that, plus 10 hours of in-field. That means we go out with AZD for 5 hours Friday, 5 hours Saturday, do the drive, go to the venues, walk the casino, go to the lounge, sit, roundtable discussion for an hour to an hour and a half, get in a limo, go to a club, be at the club for 2 hours, limo back, all debriefing, talking, interacting with the guys. So if you're not in set with a girl, you're in set with a guy who gets girls, and that will rub off on you. Your game will raise, your skill level, your communication, presence, all that. And then you get 2 hours of pickup coaching on Sunday with the authorized pickup coaches that AZD authorized because they're so good at pickup and they know Vegas and they know how to teach you how to get girls without losing value, how to get girls without chasing, how to get girls the proper way that aligns with how we have girls in IMC Nation, which is not chasing girls. It's not throwing out lines. It's not direct and complimenting her or telling her how you want to fuck her or anything like that. It's not drunken game, getting her drunk or drugs or nothing like that. It's the most ethical way to get women, and that's why we get multiple women. That's why we have multiple relationships for many years and why it works. It's not poly life. It's not open. It's not the girls are loose with public profiles and their bodies hanging out and they're getting with other guys or talking to other guys or living with other guys or having guy friends. You couldn't do what we do without our character and ethics to our game. And that's what is being taught. And like I said, when you can hold court with high-value men, now you're on the way to getting high-value women. Because if you're just going for women but you don't know how to hold court with men, then you're going to fall on your face. You're a weak man. You're a weak man. I don't care how many women you get. You're a weak pussy of a man if you can't hold court with high-value men. If high-value men don't respect you, you're a bitch. You might as well be one of the girls. You might be fucking them. They might be hot. I wouldn't trade me for you. Not on a heartbeat. And you're missing out. You don't know what this is like. I know what that's like. You know what they say. It feels the same on the inside, no matter what her color, skin, size, whatever. You don't know what this feels like to hold respect from men, to gain respect from men, earn respect, to give respect, to conduct yourself with respectful men, high-value, dangerous men. And that's worth everything because that will get you plenty of women. But chase the women, you'll never get the men. That's what's being taught here. Now, obviously, if you're online for the gathering, let's say the next gathering is this weekend, and then it's every 2 weeks for the next 3 months. The schedule is at imcbase1.com. The link is everywhere. You find it with this video. I know your level. I've been what you doing, but every man driven that ever. You haven't been what I'm doing, so don't mistake. I don't know what you're referring to. What is it that you think I'm doing that you've been? I'm curious. Because I don't think anybody's done what I've done on earth. You know what I mean? Okay, so that's wrapping it up. I don't think there's any other questions. Oh, there's an online, and that has everything except the infield. And even the infield will get you some behind the scenes audios. If you come in person, you get all those recordings also. The online is included in the in-person, the 6 or 7 hours of lecture with AZD, the 2 hours of pickup coaching, and the behind the scenes audio conversations we get. The difference is in person, you're around the tribe and you're out with us. And that's online is like 227 or something. I think it's 227. And you have access to that for the rest of your life. Those recordings and everything, study it over and over. It'll change your life. You'll upgrade. Even just listening. That's why I invite everybody, go to the YouTube and listen to the roundtable talks. You'll get better as a communicator just listening to how we talk with each other. Listen to enough AZD, plus a lot of it is AZD lecturing us. So you get so much value. Just, it's unreal. So the more you'll listen, the more you'll absorb the information, the more, and then it'll start to take effect in your life. You'll change how you talk or interact, even just slightly. And when you see a different result because you conducted yourself differently, man, now you got your hand on something. You're grabbing a handhold, a foothold. You're climbing up this thing because you got solid grips like, oh, this technique works. This mentality works. And then it's a matter of how dedicated you want to be, because the next step is join the daily class, the daily mastermind. It's $97. You get all the recordings. You show up every day or you watch the recording. And it's the same thing. You watch, you learn, you change the effects you create. And that's addicting. That's my new addiction, is personal development and changing the effects that I create in the world to align more with my desires. I don't need to long for something like that. I don't need to wish for it or hope for a handout or hope for God. I've learned that the outcome I want is the result of a way of communicating. Gets me whatever's physically possible, I can get in this world through communicating the right way. I just need the right imagination to access that communication. And that means I need to be free inside to maneuver my imagination, to be in the state of mind and have the right mindset and the right frame and the right self-image to communicate the right way that gets the right response. The right meaning according to my wishes. I decide if it's the right response for what I want, my outcome, my right outcome. And so this is that path of freeing up inside. That's why there's so much spiritual tech in what AZD teaches. That's what it is. This is actually spiritual evolution, but if we sold it like that, then you'd be like, I don't know, it's spiritual. So we use the women. We get lots of women, and they're beautiful, and they're loyal, and they know about each other, and no problem. I don't even have to live with them. And I just have fun with the boys every day. And that's what it is. And so that's what we sell. But on deeper inspection, after years of studying this stuff, you'll see it's really spiritual development. Mental development, but for the sake of the spirit. People do mental development for the sake of mentally masturbating. They're not developing spiritually. People do spiritual development pretending it's spiritual development. It's not. It's really mental development. And they're dissociating from other people and from, their character and their identity. So they're becoming weirdos. That's spiritual development. Mental development, spiritual development. Bring it together, spiritual, mental development. It's great, except the people that do that have terrible relationships with women. So what are they really doing? They're dissociated from other people. So spiritual, mental development game is really a physical development. Because even if you're working out or running or dieting, all of that is for mating. You're doing that to get better mates. And so your physical development's actually falling short. You're developing physically, but socially, physically, you're not. I respect every man, same level, and upper am so powerful, but you don't know what am me. That's why I listen, I don't talk, I'm just telling you. Yeah, I don't respect every man the same level. That's why we're different. I respect the humanity in some way. There is a level of respect that's common among all people. And then what a person does with their life has different levels of respectability to me. I don't know if anyone is on Yogi Chris's level. He's on his own, man. Man, maybe. I think imagination, mentality, these levels are available to everybody if you learn the tech. If you learn and apply. Everybody's on their different path. It might take longer, it might take shorter. But it's the physics of the mind and existence. So it works for everybody if you work it right. So I recommend come to the camp this weekend. It's called Chosen Part 2. It's on imcbase1.com/advanced. And I gave you all the details about it. It'll cost more afterwards if you try to get the recording, so sign up right away. If you want to come in person, sign up right away so you get your plane tickets and you know when you're coming. Because you interesting, that's why you seem like him. I appreciate that. Yeah. I'm totally influenced in my way of communicating by AZD. Obviously, I live with them. I'm on tons of lectures. I've been on tons and tons of lectures, more than anybody probably. And I've also lectured more than anybody except for him. Because I taught yoga and I had an online yoga program and I have a podcast with hundreds of episodes. Shout out Enlightened Masculinity Podcast. So I've used the tech in my language a lot, and I've also, been working with the pickup and the relationships with his tech longer than most. So applying his information with women, making it actually work. It's not just about saying you're not going to talk to other guy. You got to be the kind of guy and explain it in a way, even if that's no explanation, even if you just say it, you're not talking to any other guys. But there's so much philosophy behind my voice, in my mentality, that I'm not just saying that. I have a whole monologue ready to go, and a demeanor that says I'll walk away. Actually, if you're not receptive to what I'm saying, I don't need to waste my time with you, not at all, or my emotions or my mindset, not at all. You stay receptive, and if she can't stay receptive, so applying this tech. Lecturing this tech, listening to this tech, of course, I'm going to be a close representation, or closer than most guys, of AZD. And then with my own twist on it, I'm Yogi Chris. I am Yogi Chris. I'm Yogi Chris PhD. It's just what this is. It's got that flavor. So it might be too intellectual for some people, too wordy or whatever. I don't care. I do my message. You can go to someone else for the message. Or here, I'm giving you the message. Sign up. Sign up for the daily mastermind. That's on imcbase1.com also. If you're on the mastermind, sign up for the advanced training. Seduction, mindset, communication. That's Chosen Part 2 this weekend. And as soon as you can, come in person. As soon as you can come residency. That's the best kind of in-person. You just pick 2 to 30 days. Any 2 to 30 days you want to come stay overnight at headquarters, DM me and put money down so you block your dates out, because we can only take 2 at a time. And we made a mistake not long ago. We had 3 guys here. It was very difficult, but we still made it work. You warrior dude, that's what I'm talking to you. Rare people. Man, I appreciate it. You're probably rare too because you're a warrior. So that's what this is, brother. I want to see you on the daily class, AQ227. Maybe one day we'll talk live on this stream. If I see you sooner and I think of it, just request to go live and we could talk live. But I got to go handle business. I had a ton of messages come in. Thank you, everybody, for your attention. I'm Yogi Chris from IMC headquarters. Hope to see you on the next level of program for you. Os, Jai Guru Dev, praise the Lord.